CNN, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard forces are expected to begin a major exercise in the Persian Gulf as soon as within the next 48 hours that could be aimed at demonstrating their ability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, according to two U.S. officials directly familiar with the latest U.S. assessment of their troop movements. We are aware of the increase in Iranian naval operations within the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and Gulf of Oman. We're monitoring it closely and will continue to work with our partners to ensure freedom of navigation and free flow of commerce in international waterways, Captain William Urban, chief spokesman for the U.S. Central Command. Now, the strait is a strategically critical passageway linking the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea that is crucial to international shipping and particularly for global energy supplies. While the U.S. sees no immediate signs of hostile intent from Iran, the Iranian show of force has U.S. military intelligence deeply concerned for three fundamental reasons, according to officials. One, the exercise comes as rhetoric from the Iranians towards the U.S. has accelerated in recent days. Two, it appears they are ramping up for a larger exercise this year than similar efforts in the past. Three, the timing is unusual. These types of Iranian exercises typically happen much later in the year. There's major concern because of these factors, one official said. As of now, the U.S. assesses the Iranians have assembled a fleet of more than 100 boats, many of them small, fast-moving vessels. It's expected Iranian air and ground assets, including coastal defensive missile batteries, could be involved. Hundreds of Iranian troops are expected to participate, and some regular Iranian forces could be involved as well. The Iranian exercise comes as the U.S. has only one major warship, the USS the Sullivans, inside the Persian Gulf, several officials say. Other U.S. warships are nearby. There are numerous combat aircraft in the region. The U.S. military has been trying to encourage other nations in the region, especially Saudi Arabia, to take a strong line on keeping the Gulf open in the face of rising Iranian rhetoric. They've also expressed concern about keeping open the waterways off Yemen, where Iranian-backed rebels have attacked oil tankers. Secretary of Defense James Mattis, responding to rising Iranian rhetoric, said Iran has threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz. They've done that previously in years past. They saw the international community put dozens of nations of international community put their naval forces in for exercises to clear the straits. Clearly, this would be an attack on international shipping, and it would have obviously an international response to reopen the shipping lanes with whatever that took. There's more. The Israelis, Benjamin Netanyahu, he has announced that they will keep the Red Sea open no matter what, under all conditions, whatever it takes, the Israelis and the international community. And so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Islamo-Nazi regime in Iran, the economy dying, the people, in many respects, rising up, the mullahs, the fundamentalist Islamic mullahs, who've divided that country up economically like warlords. They seek to hold on to their power. And so it may come to this. Now let's see about the isolationists in our own country. Some of them on cable TV. What is it? What's in our business there? What's our business? It's called oil, geniuses. It's more than that. One country gets away with this. Other countries do the same thing. Why are people so stupid? They just are. The isolationists, some of whom are on cable. The isolationists, some of whom do not support increasing defense spending in a significant way, like the Koch brothers. The what I call the Code Pink Republicans out there, who think if you want a robust United States military, not for aggressive interventionism, but to do what the United States military needs to do or should do, that somehow you must be a neocon or a globalist. Well, let me tell you something. President of the United States is neither. And I'm sure he, his brilliant National Security Advisor Bolton, his brilliant Secretary of State Pompeo, and Mattis, not so brilliant, but what the hell. I'm sure all three of them are well aware of what's going on. I'm sure the brilliant ambassador to Israel from the United States, Friedman, I'm sure the brilliant ambassador to the United States from Israel, Dermer, I'm sure they're all quite familiar. And then the Churchill of our times, as I call him, Netanyahu, there's no question about it. So the Iranians are on the move. What this portends, we cannot be 100% certain. But 100 ships is 100 ships. 100 military naval ships, that's not a joke. We, the United States, we only have about 300. Less than 300, actually. And Trump's trying to rebuild our Navy as he is the rest of the branches of the military. All right, you can kill the music. Thank you. So that's the breaking news, and it's a big deal. That's why I have no stomach for the Code Pink Republicans. You know, it's an amazing thing. You can learn so much from history. You really can. Even recent history. What happens when the United States has its guard down? What happens when the United States slashes its military spending and its military resources? We tend to have wars. And we tend to lose a lot more lives than we would otherwise lose if we were ready. Now, what I've just reported to you has been reported by CNN and in some international news outlets, but it hasn't led news anywhere. Not on network news, not on cable news. Instead, we go this back and forth. Trump tweeted this, Adam Schiff says that, Ernie Grabatsky says this, and it's just, our free press is so pathetic. They have no sense of priorities, and they're just endlessly pushing their ideological agenda. It's really quite amazing. We can learn from history not to have a massive debt. We can learn from history to ensure we have a strong military. We can learn from history to butt out of most economic decisions. We can learn from history that you must have a nation state and secure borders, or your country will be overrun. Its culture will be destroyed. It'll be destroyed from within. It's the history of Rome. We can learn from history. Well, we don't, because everybody thinks the world begins today. These statist progressives reject history. We have some newbies in the conservative movement. They reject the past. It's really quite appalling.